Hi everybody, it's Tuesday here at Witches of the Moon, and I am your Tuesday host, Rhiannon. This week's topic is how to craft a spell. And I know Eva touched really deep on it yesterday. She has a really great video, so if you haven't seen it yet, you really should go look. I'm just going to take a few minutes to explain how it is I craft my spells. The first thing I do is when I get the pull to do a spell, I sit down before, like, depending on, it honestly depends on when. If it's something that I know I'm going to do for the full moon or something like that, or there's a set day that I'm waiting for, whether it be because my husband's not going to be home that day and I can have quiet, or I don't have plans that day, or whatever it is, I will sit when I do have some peace and quiet and plan. And when I say plan, I take that time to focus on what it is that I want, what it is that I need to happen from casting this spell, the words that I want to use, the tools that I want to use, whether it be stones or herbs or candles or whatever it is. And I kind of lay it all out. I have a notebook. It's not my book of shadows, but it's kind of like my scratch book, and that's where I will plan all of my rituals, all of my spells, everything. And I kind of write it all down, jot it all down. I'm going to use, lavender, rosebuds, this particular essential oil, this color candle. I'm going to do this, and I write it all down. And then I write down the words that I want to use. And when it comes time to do the actual spell, the night, it's always at night. I don't work very well in the daylight. I'm a night owl, and I do so much better focusing at night. So right before I do it, I take a bath or a shower. A lot of the times, it's not just, when I say I take a bath or shower, it's got intention behind it. Not just to clear the energy off of me from the day, but if I'm going to do a love spell, for instance, I'm going to either light a candle, or not a candle, but an incense in the bathroom with me, maybe a rose incense. If I'm taking a bath, I'll throw rosebuds in the bath with me, and I will take that time to meditate. I will take that time to get my thinking clear for what it is that I need to do. After the bath, I go into my room, and I will sit, and I will actually write the spell that I've put in the scrap notebook. I will put it into my book of shadows. And from that point, I get my altar set up, my working area set up with however it is that I want to do it. And I will sit there and perform my ritual or my spell. And once it's over, I spend a little time in that room keeping the energy in there, whether it be just, working, and meditating around my altar still. I stay in that room for a little while. Just to make sure that energy is still there and it feels like it's flowing well. And that's really all it is that I do for my rituals. If I don't have a lot of time to plan, I still like to take a minute to still myself. I still like to do my best to purge myself of the energy of the day. I can't do spell work when I am so muddled with everybody else. So I do take that time to cleanse myself no matter what. I don't want that, especially if it's been a really bad day. I don't want that energy in my spell work. It doesn't belong there. It's not mine, and I don't want it affecting anything that I'm trying to do. Most of the ritual is still the same. It's a little bit more rushed, but I will still jot down on my scrap notebook. I will still do my research on my herbs and anything else that I'm using. And one thing I will say is really pay attention to your intuition. when it comes to plotting your spell work, because there was one particular spell that I was doing and I got pulled to use an herb that I don't normally work with. And when it came time to doing my research, I'm like, that actually works perfect. And, you know, you just follow your intuition and you really can't go wrong. You know, we're witches. That's what we do. We have to learn to follow that. And it's taken me a long time to trust myself when it comes to doing my spell work. And, you know, I think that comes from a lot of mistakes on my part because of taking the breaks in between, you know, so many years in between my craft. It takes a lot of work, but your intuition is a huge, huge part of your spell crafting. And just learn to trust yourself. But that's what I do. That's how I spend my time when I'm crafting a spell. That's, you know, how it is that I try to make them as effective as possible. And, you know, it's still something that I'm working on. I still have a hard time trusting myself. So I really, really work hard to make sure I'm as confident as possible when it comes to crafting my spell, because I have done spells where in the middle of it, I've doubted and they either don't turn out as well as I'd hoped or they turn out incredibly bad. And I'm like, that was my fault. I didn't take the time I needed. I didn't trust myself. And you can absolutely see that when you don't. So trust yourself, know what it is you want to do, have it all planned out, take the time to really focus on what you're doing, and you'll be fine. I hope that helps. I hope that you enjoy the video. Make sure you watch everybody else's videos this week, because I'm sure we have a lot of different stuff to say. Everybody's different. And I guess I will see you next week. So blessed be.